Hey guys, so this is, let's see here, if I can get this back, okay. So this is going to be about the different cloths that you can use to remove your makeup and clean your whole body, and this is the most commonly asked thing that I have. And also the most common mistake when people are ordering that I'm like, hey, did you actually want that? Or they'll order something and be like, oh, I thought that I was getting this. And so I try to make sure that I can help you get the right thing. So I wanted to just go over a couple of differences. So we have 3 different cloths that you can use to remove your makeup and clean your whole body. And I'm talking everything. So they're really great. They are microfiber. They're all are microfiber. So they all have the back lock in them so that they don't get stinky and smelly. And if they do start to get stinky and smelly, you know that it's been too long without washing them and you should probably throw them in the laundry. On these, if you wear a lot of makeup especially, I tend to have to do a deep clean on mine once they get pretty makeup stained because it really latches on. We use that makeup, right, that stays on our face so it doesn't melt off throughout the day, and then we have to really do a hardcore deep clean on these. I've found more than my other cloths because that makeup is made to stay put. Okay, so the first one I'm going to tell you about is our body cloth, because this is what I use, and these are all labeled, so you can see here. And this is a very washcloth type texture. It's a little softer when you first get it. This is really old. I've used it to death. So it's that washcloth texture, and you can see the size here, so I love it. It's nice and big, and a lot of times, what I do, I have acne and huge, massive pores, huge pores, and so what I like to do is get this really hot and just leave it soaking and not wring it out too much, just enough so it's not dripping everywhere, and then I just hold it on my face, and it feels so good, and it really, really helps with getting all that all the impurities out and stuff like that. So this is our body cloth. You can use this on your face, you can use it on your entire body. Now, a couple of really important things that must happen. You cannot use this and then just hang it up to dry, because there's then an excess of dead skin cells and bacteria that you've just wiped off, and so what you need to do is rinse it out, and rinsing it out gets all of the excess bacteria off, and then wring it and hang it to dry. Now, whatever's left in there that couldn't be wiped off easily, that's going to be where the backlock comes into play, and it's going to get rid of all that extra bacteria. But you can't just leave an excess. There's not enough backlock in it to just take care of everything without rinsing it first, if that makes sense. Another thing is, I've had a lot of people say, oh, well, it's exfoliating too much, or it's not exfoliating enough. So one thing to remember, and I forget to tell everybody who buys this sometimes. I feel like I say it so often that sometimes I just forget. So if you didn't know, you can adjust how much this exfoliates by how much you wring it out. So if you get this wet, soaking wet, I've seen some people who get a corner wet. I don't really advise that because you can't control it as well, and I just don't advise that. But if you get the whole cloth wet, you can wring it out just enough so that it's not, free-flowing water from it, and that will be softer and gentler. Okay, now if you wring it out a lot, that's going to be really exfoliating. So you have to also be careful if you're not looking for that exfoliation. Now, again, with acne and horrible skin, I definitely, yes. So that's kind of one of those tricks that you can use to adjust. So I tend to like it very exfoliating, but honestly, when I'm taking off my eye makeup, I make sure it's really wet and really soft so that I'm not ripping out my eyelashes, because I don't have many, so I like to keep the ones that I have. But then when I'm getting around here, or if I've got a problem zone with some serious acne going on, then I wring this sucker out and go to town. So that's something very important that you may not know. Okay, this is our baby body cloth. Now, it's labeled baby, and a lot of people think that these are just for babies. They're not. They are simply our body cloth, but they are just smaller. So this kind of gives you an idea of the size difference. So it's not a quarter of the size, it's a little bit bigger, but it still is smaller and more compact. Now, same exact properties apply to this. You can see this is new, so it's nice and really plush. So same exact properties apply to this. Make sure you rinse before you hang to dry, and then again, you can adjust the exfoliation based off of how wet it is. Now, this is our makeup remover cloth. Now, when it's labeled online, it's labeled makeup remover cloth, but as you'll notice, this is also labeled body. So it's a little bit confusing, and hopefully Norwex will change some of that in the future because it's a little bit confusing. So this is about the exact same size. I guess the makeup cloths are a little bit smaller, but I don't know if that is just because this is also very used. This is also a very old one. So you'll see here that this is more of a flat texture, not the plush, and it's just a micro suede type of feel. This is going to be not exfoliating. This is going to be more of a wipe. So this feels a little weird, whereas this feels like the typical washcloth, you know, scrubbing. This is more of a, you have to kind of wipe it off. It's a little bit different. It still removes your makeup. Some people love this and hate this. Some people love this and hate this. I still have these, obviously, and use them, and I don't mind them. A lot of times it's kind of just kind of what I feel like for my skin that day, but mostly I definitely prefer the body and baby body type of texture. This is what I prefer. So, but this is all the same stuff. You can remove your makeup with all three of them. They all three come in a 3-pack. With the body cloths, we actually have some new color combinations, so it's going to be awesome. Yes, I personally just prefer the body ones. I like the texture. I also like that I can adjust the exfoliation factor. So if I, like I said, for my eyes, definitely not exfoliating. For the rest of my face, though, I need some serious exfoliation going on. And then I'm really careful like around here because as oily and horrible as this gets, I have really dry patches on my cheeks. So I just like to be able to adjust that. And I love that the body ones tend to hold that warm water better too, and they stay nice and hot, so I get it really, really hot. And I love to be able to put that on my face, open the pores up so that I can then scrub away all the gunk and rinse very well. So that's just a little bit of information about those cloths, and hopefully that helps clear it up a little bit. And I'll be uploading this to YouTube so that if you guys need for reference, I will have this, and I'll probably post it in this group periodically just as we gain new people. Some people didn't know, some people I forgot to tell, some people just forget that I told them because there's just so many facts about Norwex. I realize it's super overwhelming. Even us as consultants with constantly dealing with it get a little overwhelmed sometimes. So there's just a lot of facts, and that's what we're here for, so hopefully that helps you out. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.